Hi friends, welcome back to Yoga with Marcy. In today's class, we'll be working once again with fire. This is the third class in our series of 4. And today in particular, the theme is personal power. A way to invoke the feeling, the felt sense of personal power in our own bodies is by practicing inner spiral, invoking water, followed by outer spiral, fire. This creates steam. It engages mula banda, which is engaging a drawing up of the pelvic floor, and that draws us right into the seat of our own personal power. So I'm glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy today's practice. Take your comfy seat. And of course, the first things first is just, even if it feels hard, welcoming yourself as you are right now. With the highs and the lows and the joys and the pains. And for just a couple breaths, making it all welcome. And maybe letting yourself melt a bit into the back body. Plug in to source energy. To a feeling of connection. Something greater than all this wildness of life. Something steady. And something deeply, deeply nurturing and compassionate. That's got your back. And just noticing the rise and fall of your own breath as part of your own anchoring system into sanity. Into ease, to care and love. Feeling weight in the pelvis. Inviting weight in the pelvis. Let yourself be weighty. Let gravity draw you towards earth. And then from deep in the pelvis, let the spine find some length without forcing. It knows just what to do. To create just a little space between each vertebrae, like a tender tendril shoot reaching towards the sun. Today is the third class in our fire series. The invitation today is to let yourself move more deeply into and have the felt experience of your personal power. Personal power in Chinese whatnot lives in the dantian, which is just below the navel. It's also what is that called? Now it's escaping me. If you know it, shout it out. Dantian. Okay. The hara. That's right. I want to call it the hara. You could put a hand there. Seat of personal power, and this is an area where passion is generated and lives. And when we practice in the ways that we have been practicing and will practice today, by very intentionally activating first inner spiral and then outer spiral, and I'll guide you in this in just a moment. This area, bless you, gets enlivened. So before we go here more deeply, let's take our hands together in front of the heart. We'll join our voices for the sound of one Om. So yeah, exhaling fully, taking a deep inhalation. Nice. I want to invite you to let something go through the fingers as you're coming back and maybe opening your eyes, just shaking it out. Shaking it out right from the heart space, out the arms, right out the fingertips. You might want to move those around a little. Make a little sound on the exhale as you do that. And one more time. Okay, and there's more. There's always more to let go. But it's just as a cursory start. I want to invite you to bring your awareness to this area that we had touched. You can bring a hand or not bring a hand. And one way to get this going, activate it, is to imagine the front body right here moving towards the back body. And feel that. And then you can take a hand here from the back of the sacrum, imagining the back body moving towards the front body. And you feel how that lengthens the tailbone down. And what happens, and you may or may not be able to perceive this with your interoception, but it draws the pelvic floor up. And that's called mula banda. It's one of the locks in yoga, right? And that draws energy up and into the body. So let it all go. And we're going to try that again. So imagining drawing the energy from just below the navel towards the back body, and then from the same point at the back of the sacrum towards the front body, and letting them meet in the middle. Do you feel the draw of Mula Bandha up and into the body? Wonderful. And if you don't worry about it. It's not a problem. We're going to let that go, and I'm going to invite you to do a pelvic floor release, because sometimes when we don't know it, if we've been feeling tense about something, or if there's some kind of something going on in our environment that makes us feel unsafe in any kind of way, this area can hold a lot of tension, pelvic floor tension, right? So you won't be able to feel it if you've got pelvic floor tension. So let's try to release it just in case. And if you've been practicing with me for a while, you've probably done this. So we'll take a left palm open and take it right underneath the sits bone and let the sits bone sit in the hand. I learned this a couple years ago and I couldn't believe it. It just was like, it floored me. All right, so you can imagine this or you can feel it. You'll see you're going to start circling that sits bone very minutely in one direction, about 4 times, right in the hand. And then you're going to take it in the other direction, circling it about 4 times. Good. And then we'll make a 5-pointed star starting at the lower left corner, going up, down the right, back over to the left, over to the right, and down to the left. And then you're going to draw a star from the other side, starting at lower right, up to the top, down to the left, over to the right, over to the left, down to the right. And now, write the long form of your name in cursive with your sits bone. Just your first name. And then when you're done with that, release the hand and feel your two sides. For me, it just shows me how much tension I carry in my pelvic floor, because all of a sudden it's like this one side is like, woo, and the other side is like, woo. Is anybody feeling that? It's pretty amazing, right? Yeah, so let's take our other hand, palm, and bring the sits bone right into that palm. And by the way, this Muladhara chakra is all about safety and security, right? So circling in one direction 4 times or so, and then the other. So when that's tight and holding tension, well, you do the math, right? That's what's going on there. All right, and then down in the lower left corner, take it up. We'll draw our star down to the right, over to the left, towards the right, back down. And then we'll start at lower right, take it up, down to the left, over to the right, left, and down. And now write the long form of your first name. Well, I was just thinking, ooh, Christopher, that's a nice long one. But I've got a Y. Ys are fun. And then you can let it go when you're done. And just notice that. All right. Yeah, exactly. It is. It's kind of like a deeper exhalation can really take place. Now we're going to try that thing again where we bring our awareness into the dantian, into the hara space from the front body, draw it towards the back body, and then from the back body, draw it towards the front, and you might be able to feel it more. You might be able to feel what they used to call Kegels. They don't call them that anymore if you're a feminist, because it was named after a man. Now they call them the blueberry exercise. I learned this from a pelvic floor PT, a pelvic PT. Yeah, it's like you're drawing a blueberry up. It's kind of fun. It's hard to do if you're a dude, though, because you don't have a vagina. All right. Scoot off of what you're sitting on and bring your blocks. All right. Very good. So I'm going to invite you to draw the top of the sacrum forward to create a little curve in the lower back. And then bring your hands, a hand on either block. You're in a sukhasana, an easy sitting pose. Shoulders come up to open the heart. Elbows are a little bent. Then I'm going to invite you to press into the blocks until the weight comes out of your pelvis. Ooh, and then the back of the sacrum drops, and then you feel that mula banda happening again. Do you feel it? Yeah, so the blocks there just let you. Now, we're going to take the top of the sacrum back and take the sits bones forward first. Crunch into that space. Here we go. Now draw yourself up and see what that feels like. Ooh. That's hard to do, right? There's like a blockage. One more time. Let everything go. From the front body to the back, and then the back body to the front. I want you to take those actions. So below the navel, draw back. From the back of the sacrum, draw forward. So you're going to engage that first. Now take your hands to the blocks and lift. What's the experience of that?
Concentrating so hard, I don't even know. Feel very stable. Yeah,
Feels stable, strong. Yeah. So when we engage those muscles that way, the multifidi muscles and the deep muscles of the pelvis, we're actually protecting our sacroiliac joint in the back of the body. And that might be really good for you, actually, Cheryl, if that is connected to what's going on with your leg. So, and we're in a felt sensation of our personal power as we do that. Like this suddenly becomes, I'm levitating and it's not hard. That kind of thing. All right, my friends. let's come to hands and knees and get moving. Right, X? You want to move with us? Move any way that feels good, all right? This is your practice. We've been sitting and talking and doing subtle things long enough, so go ahead and get into your bigger muscle groups, and let them move. Yeah, if there's some circling, cat and cow, whatever it is. Oh, if there's some sounds. Oh, yeah. If you want to take yourself into a balasana, a child's pose, also. Waking up the body, waking up all the bodies, inviting all the bodies to come together in movement and breath and flow. And let's all come back together in tabletop position and take the left foot forward like we've been doing in our practice. Right hand comes forward, a handprint. Right foot, we come to the outside of that, and we're going to come into a modified, what is this? Side plank. Modified side plank. So the hips draw towards sky. You feel the midline. And then even right here, you can take those two actions, right? The front of the pelvis moves back, and the back of the pelvis moves forward. Feel the mula banda and get long. Exhale to come out. Oh my goodness. We have to share this space, Akis. Your tail's right in my way. And then let's take the other side. Right foot comes forward. Take the left hand, one hand print forward. Come to the outside of the left foot. Find the midline, draw, open it up. And then take those two actions to get the mula bandha going. So front body moves back. Front of the pelvis, back of the pelvis moves forward. And then express it out. And when you're ready to come out with an exhale back to figure four. Kickstand, right leg behind you. Walk the right hand forward, a hand print. Left foot comes out. Good. Find that midline hug, and then let yourself just enjoy and reach. Yep, and it's okay. Everybody can do it on whatever side is working for you right now. And then we'll just do the other side. Experiment with your reach. You know, maybe there's like a forward reach of the hand, middle, back. What feels right to you in your body right this minute? Pressing through the hand for stability and the foot and the knee. And exhale that out. Come to midline, come to center, let something go, move it around. And then we'll do the other side. Did that feel good? Do you want to stay there for a while? Other side. Find the midline. Find your reach. Press the floor away. Experiment with wherever it is you want to reach to. Good, and when you're ready, we'll exhale back to center and come onto the belly. Hands at the side of the rib cage. We're going to do some cobra flow here. Find your breath. Open to source first. Then feel the gentle hugging of muscles in towards bone, finding midline. Nice. And even here, below the navel, you can draw that towards the back body, and then behind the sacrum draws forward, drawing the tailbone towards the heels. Keep all of that lower body engaged, toenails tacked to the floor. Inhale, shoulders towards ears and come up. Exhale it down. We'll do 5.
One more. 4 more. Up. Down. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. 2 more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. And 1 more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Tuck the toes under. Press into the hands. Transition through puppy pose. And then take yourself all the way up and into a downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Yeah, let breath be easy. Let it flow. Oh, make any sounds you need to. Let go of something in the head. Yeah, good. And then come to center. Nice and widen the fingers. Press into the hands. Take both heels towards the right for a side body long. Hands will stay on the ground. Nice. Keep the hip points going high if you can. Good. Inhale. Take both heels towards the left. Hip points high. Pressing through hands. Finding length in the side of the body. Oh. Inhale, center. Nice. And then let's inhale our way into a plank position. Finding your breath, feeling the midline, feeling yourself press the floor away. Here we go. We're going to take those actions in the pelvis again. So below the navel moves towards the back, little curve, and then the back of the sacrum moves towards front, coming right into the seat of our power. And then inhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Oh, get long. If you want, you can put a little softness in the knees, take the hip points even higher, get long through the spine. Look between the hands, walk, jump, float your feet forward. Wiggle your toes. Nice. Find your breath, and then lift and spread the toes, fan them down. Gentle draw of ankles and shins towards one another. Deep bend in the knees. Taking yourself up to Utkatasana with cactus arms. Feel this, how the sits bones move back and widen. And then draw sits bones down towards the floor, tailbone down towards the floor. Heart lifts. Press into the feet, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right. So come on to the front of your mats. And we've been talking about outer spiral now for a couple of weeks. And we'll talk about it again a little bit today. So let's take a block, actually, in between the thighs. How's the temperature? Hot, 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 hot. Shall I turn the heater off?
I can take off my sweater.
Okay, all right. When you need it, you let me know. Okay, friends. So let's feel into our feet and find our breath. And then gently hug in on that block. Usually we have the block between the shins for hugging. Here it is between the thighs, but you can feel the gentle hug. So the inner spiral that we work with, right, begins in the feet, and it moves in this sort of direction. It takes us into that infinite inner universe. And the element there is water, and it ends here at T12, at the base of the rib cage. Outer spiral begins at the base of the rib cage at T12 and does the opposite thing, right? It does. It takes us back out, and it moves this way, bringing the sits bones closer together and down, narrowing this space that we've just created, but actually locking it in so we don't lose the watery space. And then it comes down and out through the pinky toes and the feet. So that fiery outer spiral energy is actually directional, and it's taking us back out to the periphery of our feet. So inner spiral takes us in deep within to our pelvis, and this takes us back out. And if you think about that, it's like, it's taking us back out towards the world, right? Back out into like, well, what's the next thing I'm going to touch and how am I going to touch it? So we need that fire, actually, in order to be able to do that. And here we go, ready? One of the reasons I love the principles of Anusara Yoga so much is because they're so deeply, vibrantly, philosophically connected. All right, so let's take all those actions now. We'll do some sun breaths. So find your breath, connect to source first. We really need that. We don't start with the fire, we start with source. And then lift and spread toes, feel the hug to midline. You can find that inner spiral energy, connect deeply with yourself, and then bring in that fiery energy. And today we're practicing with the water is drawing to the back body and the fire is drawing back towards the front body. It lengthens this part of the back body, right? And it draws the mula banda up. And keeping all of that, we're in the seat of our personal power. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, hands to heart. And two more. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, hands high. This time I'll take it right down through the center line. For a forward fold, make a sound. Great. On the inhalation, right foot comes back to a lunge. Find your lunge, the gentle draw to midline, pressing through feet, length through crown. And even here you can take those actions. So back it out, hug to midline, front of the pelvis moves back to the back body, back of the pelvis meets the front. Feel, if you can, that mula bandha, and then press through feet and get long. Press into the hand, step it back. Plank position. You can take those actions again, right here in plank. Feel your own passion, feel your own power. The power to act or not act. And then down we go, onto bellies. Hands at the side of the rib cage, tacking the toes. Inhale up into your cobra. And then tuck the toes and find your way back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, the right foot steps forward into a lunge. And find your breath. Draw to midline. And take those actions of inner spiral towards the back body, outer spiral towards the front, meeting in the middle, mula bandha, press through feet, get long through crown. Inhale, left foot forward. Let something go in the head. Nice. Lift and spread toes, draw ankles towards one another, deep bend in the knees, reach up. Cactus. Nice. And I'm going to bring your awareness again into the pelvis. So front of the pelvis draws back, back of the pelvis draws forward, lengthening the tailbone towards the earth, drawing the pelvic floor up into the body, heart lifts up. Press into the feet, touch the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Right. Let's interlace fingers and press forward. Let's do this as we take them towards sky. With breath, all the way up. If that works for your shoulders. Pressing equally into both feet, we'll take this into a gentle side stretch. Maybe less is more here. So instead of going right to your edge, back it off a little bit so you're in the flow of your own breath and your own listening, micro-moving. Inhale it up. Press into both feet, take the other side. Again, less is more. And then inhale it up. float it down. Shake something out. Shake it out, out through the hands, out through the feet. Ooh. Or dance it out. Or run it out. Or punch it out. What is it? Okay, whatever it is. All right, back to the top of our mats. Oh, wow, what?
Red cardinals out there.
Yeah, they're so cool against the white, white snow. All right, come into the top of your mats. Yeah, Chris put feed back in the bird feeder, and it took a few weeks, but boy, when they found it, they found it. All right, feeling feet, finding breath. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale through center line, let it go. Ah. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Nice and wide in the fingers. Soften knees, take hip points high. And then inhale, right foot to sky. Exhale, that foot part way forward for a modified side plank. Turning onto the outside of the outstretched leg, finding midline hug, reaching up, heart lifting. Breathing. And when you're ready, unwind yourself and step that right leg high again. And then exhale it between the hands for a lunge. Grab your blocks. And lift the front toes, move front knee towards straight. And you can take those blocks as high as you need them to lift the ground to meet you. Aw, Ekis. Ekis loves the heater. Breathe. Breathe into sensation here. And one of our personal powers is to stay with ourselves and not abandon ourselves. Right? We lose our personal power when we abandon ourselves. So can you stay here with yourself in sensation and also decide how much? When we move from a very deeply conditioned pattern place, we're not really in our personal power there. So we got to back out of it and come into our interoception, our mindfulness, and listen, and make our empowered decisions from that place of listening deeply. You know, how much straightening of the knee is right in this moment. Good. And then inhale back into your lunge shape. Come into the hands. Front foot comes back into a plank position. And take the actions here of inner spiral followed by outer spiral. And then onto bellies. And come up onto fingertips for what is this? Yes, thank you, a cactus cobra. Words. Tacking toenails, lower body active. Inhale your way up. Exhale your way down. Tuck the toes, press into hands, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, left foot comes up. Exhale that foot halfway up, pressing into your right hand. Give yourself a turn, come into your modified side plank, finding midline, and finding expression. You know, how am I going to express my personal power right now in this moment? And inhale your way out. Left leg comes high. Exhale that foot between the hands for a lunge. Take your blocks and play. Play with experiencing sensation and opening and stretch in the hamstring, back of the leg by lifting active toes,
moving knee towards straight. Don't need to get anywhere here. Letting yourself be free to choose what is the right amount in this moment. I just noticed the crunching in the back of my neck. Thank you, interoception, so that I can give myself some freedom there. All right, inhale back into your lunge. Press through the hands, step it back, plank position. And then down and onto bellies. And up into cactus cobra. And exhale it out. Tucking toes, pressing the hands, downward facing dog. Yeah, hear the sounds. Look between the hands, jump, step, float feet forward. Put a softness in the knees and let something go in the head. Good, now inhale the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. 1 more, inhale, heart forward. Now deep bend in the knees. Bring yourself up, cactus cobra. Good, feel the shins drawing in towards one another for the hug to midline. Feel the sits bones widening back, and then the rooting comes. That's your outer spiral, taking you back out to your feet, drawing mula banda. Seat of personal power, lift the heart. And up we go. Exhale, hands to heart. Reach around and interlace the fingers. Let yourself round forward for a second. As we do this, the head of the arm bones come forward. And of course, if we're going to get the benefit of this kind of offering, we're going to need to undo that. But let's take the actions first in the legs and stabilize ourselves. So come into your breath. Then lift and spread toes, right? Front of the hara moves towards the back, and the back of the sacrum moves towards the front. Nice and stable. Now inhale, shoulders up towards ears. Take them towards the back. Let the heart begin to lift shoulders. Shoulder blades moving towards one another on the back body. Elbows moving towards one another. Pressing through feet. And then if it feels good, you can move the hands back, away from the body. Maybe shifting your gaze, but staying alive in the toes, alive in your eyelids, alive in the breath. And exhale, release that, and shake it on out.
I'm feeling hot and a little, I opened that because I need fresh air.
Oh, you opened it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Maybe,
Do you want to crack a window?
or turn off the heater to start, I don't know, back row, I'll leave back row. Or
Do you want me to crack
that
this?
one has snow.
It's all right. If that doesn't feel good, then you just let me know. Okay, good. Did that come from your personal power, sir? Awesome. That's right. Okay, let's come back to the tops of our mats. Nice. Whew. So just take a moment to notice that you're here, right now. Good. And press into the feet. Inhale, hands high. Exhale through center line, all the way down, make a sound. Inhale, heart forward. And on the exhalation, step yourself back, downward facing dog. Yeah. Pressing into hands, inhale, right foot high. Exhale your way into a modified side plank again. We're going to repeat this part of the sequence. Pressing floor away, feeling midline. Finding that sense of inner strength. Inhale your way back, take the right foot high. Exhale it between the hands, hands to blocks. Hamstring. Woo! Soften back knee, that will be helpful here. Good. Now exhale, we're going to take the back knee down and walk the knee so that you're back, so that you're at the front of the knee, and then bring that foot up. Ooh. Walk your front body up. Coming into a thigh stretch here, and if it's rough on your knee, yeah, you can double your mat or triple your mat or whatever you need. Reach the left hand back. Take your time here to see if you can find that ankle. Yeah, if it feels really far away, maybe it is. Pause. Notice I'm just in a really weird shape here, and that's okay. We're going to start being in a really weird shape. And we're going to find our breath. Nice. We'll start to find the midline and square the hips forward. Take your time. Nice. Let the left sits bone move towards the heel. Good. And let the heel move towards the sits bone. And then we're going to take that action of rooting the tailbone down without losing the space in the front of the left hip. The heart lifts up. And play here. Maybe that right hand wants to express something. Maybe you want to shift your gaze. And then find your way. Exhale. Let it go. Hands to the mat. Take your time. Transition maybe through tabletop, pressing into the hands, and then come up into your downward facing dog. Ooh. Okay. Inhale to plank. And exhale onto your bellies. Take your hands to your sides with the palm facing down, forehead on the ground. And on the inhalation, lift right foot. And exhale it down. Inhalation, lift left foot. Exhale it down. Inhale, both feet. Ooh, if you've got a full bladder like I do, this feels special. Lift the head, lift the hands. And fly. What are you flying towards? And if you don't know, then you can just ask your deep wisdom to reveal that to you in the right time. Exhale to come out. Press yourself through. Puppy pose and into your downward facing dog. I have to remember that sequence on the other side. What? Okay, let's inhale the left leg up. Exhale that halfway up for a modified side plank. And by now, you know, this shape is real familiar to your brain and body. Inhale your way out. Take that left foot to sky. Exhale that foot between the hands. Hands to blocks. Breathe. Enjoy. feel your own sense of agency here in this shape as you decide how much, how long, if and when, as an expression of your personal power. And on your next inhalation, we'll take that right knee down into a lunge shape and lift the back foot. So pause here for a moment and just notice what's going on with your knee and if it needs more padding. Or you need to bring it back and drag it forward. That's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to walk myself around to reach around to find it and grab it. So use whatever you got there if you need it, if it feels far away. And then pause, and that hand comes back around. So I'm going to pause in the breath. Let something go. Then we're going to turn and square the hips. And on the inhalation, that right sit bone moves back towards the heel. There's our inner spiral. And on the exhalation, the tailbone's going to root. The front sit bone's going to tuck under. The mula banda is going to happen. I'm going to be in the seat of my power, but I'm also giving myself a really cool thigh stretch. All right, and play here. Maybe the hand moves to the top of the foot. Maybe the left hand wants to get involved, or there's a shift in your gaze. Good, and when you're done, come on out. Exhalation, bring the hands, plank position. And find your way onto your bellies. Wag your tail if it feels good. Find that feeling of full bladder pressing into the floor. Yikes! Put a bend in both knees. Put a bend in both knees and reach the hands back for the ankles. Okay, right here is going to be super, super important. You'll notice how the lower back arches because we're already in a back bend shape. And there's a tendency for the lower back to arch too much here, which is where we need to bring in the outer spiral action that we've been practicing. So, feeling the front of the pelvis moving towards the back body. Now very strongly feel the back body move towards the front, lengthening the lower back, lengthening the tailbone towards the feet. Good. And if the knees are splayed out, just draw them towards one another. Keep that action, very stable pelvis, as you begin to let the feet draw into the hands to draw the heart forward and open. Breathe. Exhale to release. Pose of a child. What?
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, take a break. Wide knees, toes touching. A pillow with your hands for your third eye, your head. How's that temperature for everybody?
Good.
Okay? Got some fresh air? We'd probably used up all the oxygen in here, right? Needed to introduce some new oxygen. And as you're here in this child's pose, letting yourself receive rest, letting the muscles of the back body soften, you might let your mind's eye imagine your next move in any direction. A move that requires you to be in the seat of your personal power. Okay, and when you're ready,
find your way
to a downward facing dog. Last dog of the practice. And when you're ready, looking between the hands, jump, step, or float your feet forward. Let something go in the head. Inhale the heart forward. Now, drawing ankles and shins towards one another to put a deep bend in the knees, sits bones widen back. And as you come up, the tailbone drops into that space, into your cactus, Utkatasana. Feeling the power in your legs here. Letting the heart lift up. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Jump or step yourself into a wide stance facing the window side. All right, let's turn left toes to the left, put in bend in the knee, and take ourselves into a Virabhadrasana 2 shape. We're working with power. This is sort of a mandatory shape that we need to take, right? Good, so find your breath. Feel your feet. Feel your fingertips. Feel the crown of your head. Feel your back body. Nice. And then activate muscular energy, earth energy, and stability by drawing isometric draw of the feet towards one another. Good. And right here, we're going to practice how we started our practice. So the front of the hara moves towards the back body. You'll feel the sits bones widen back and apart. And then the back of the sacrum moves towards the front body. You'll feel pelvic floor lift, being in the seat of your power. Then press equally through both feet. Look out over your front fingers, knowing that the back fingers are touching what's behind you and the front fingers are touching what's in front of you. And get long through the crown. Let the heart lift. When we're in the seat of our personal power, we have energy for sustaining what needs sustaining. Good. Dance it back. And then exhale it into Parsvakonasana with elbow on knee. Reach. If you notice that weight came out of your back foot, press into that foot again. Good. Pressing into both feet, inhale yourself up. Turn both feet forward, just for a moment. Find your breath. Let the heart rate settle in case it got a little active. And then we'll turn the right foot to the right, put a bend in the knee. Open the hands. Good. So come into the breath, breathing into back body, softening the jaw, the skin of the face, and then activate stability by isometrically drawing feet towards one another. Give yourself that hit of stability, and then move into your inner body, your inner sphere by melting, drawing that front hara space towards the back body, widening sits bones back and apart. Then contain it, protect it, enliven it by taking the back of the sacrum towards the front body, lengthening the tailbone down. Front sits bone tucks under and presses through the front foot. Equal press through both feet. Look out, cross that front hand, feeling the back hand from where you've come. And knowing in this moment you have everything you need to take that very next step, whatever it is. Yeah, inhale, dance it back. And exhale it into Parsva Konasana, elbow on knee, reach. Press through feet and reach. Just keep breathing. Soften the fingers of the right hand. If you can wiggle those. Yeah, good. And pressing into both feet, especially the back foot. Inhale your way up. And turn both feet forward and step or jump them together. Okay, so I want to offer you guys both a bridge pose and the opportunity to go into a full wheel today. Feels cat-like to me. And because I'm filming, I think I would love for somebody to volunteer to come up here to be the model for that. Does anybody want to come up? Anybody at all? It's okay if you don't. No takers.
I would try, but I might not be the best example.
Want to come up? Yeah. All right. Actually, everybody get on their backs. We're all going to do bridge pose to begin. So go ahead and get on your back. Head here. Yeah. On your backs. Feet on the floor. Yeah. Yep. Arms at your side.
Totally trapped.
Trap of your own making? No. Isn't that how it goes? Not always. All right, feel your feet. Let your back body melt. Good. And feel a gentle draw of legs to midline. Press into the feet. Lift the hips towards sky. Press into the back sides of the arms. Walk shoulder blades towards one another. And feel free to interlace fingers behind your back. Once you're here, keep that draw to the midline with the legs. Good. Let the inner thighs melt towards the floor. Maintain that, and then draw the tailbone towards the back of the knees. Good. The heart moves towards the chin, keeping a curve at the back of the neck. And you can stay here for as long as you like, and come out when you're ready. Yeah. Now, can you scooch that way a little bit? I'm going to assist my friend Ilona here without stepping on your hair by putting my feet here, and you can bring your hands to my ankles. Okay, I'm doing that just because for many of us, the wrists are, I don't know, it's hard to get up in a full wheel, for me anyway, turning the hands all the way down like that. But maybe for you it's possible. But this is just a nice support. So I'm going to be here with Ilona, and come into your breath. Yeah. And because I'm here, I'm just going to assist her by reminding her to draw these arms in and to melt the head of the arm bones into the shoulder. Good. Nice. So on your next breath, pressing into the feet, you're going to rise up onto the top of your head. There, and pause. Yep. And then press and come all the way up. Beautiful. And now here, we're going to take those actions, right? So front of the pelvis moves towards the back body, nice. And then the back moves towards the front body, very strong. Can you feel that at all, Ilona?
Trying.
Trying. Okay, let's come out. Tuck your chin. Good. And take a little break. Yeah. Can we switch? Can I do it with using your ankles? Okay. So that I can cue this correctly. And folks in the room, if you want to go up into full wheel, you can do this while I'm cueing. If you want to have your hands just be on the mat and do it that way, you can also, if you have a wall behind you, put your bolster there and put your hands on the bolster. That's a really nice thing to do. If you want to have an assist of a partner and use their ankles, you can work that out. All right, so decide how you're going to do it. Yeah, and putting a block under the sacrum is a nice passive way to also get the same benefits of this pose if you don't want to go into your full wheel. All right? Okay. So for folks who are doing the full wheel, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to bring my, either your hands are on the mat or you're against a wall and they're on a cushion, or you've got a friend here like I do. Yay to friends. Hands on the ankles and breathe. Nice. All right. Shoulder blades melt into the mat. And now even before we go up, let's take the action. So gentle draw of legs to midline. Then hara moves towards back body, and then the sacrum moves towards front. Get that strong even before you come up. See if you can maintain it. Press into the feet. Come onto the shoulders. Do the hara thing again. Oh, lock it in. Then press yourself up. And come out a little bit if you need to strongly bring in that outer spiral again. And then let the heart open. Tuck the chin to come down. Oh, great. Thank you, Alona. You can come back to your mat. Let's just take both feet up to the sky. Let the head of the femurs really root here. Nice, and we'll take the hands behind the right thigh, let the left leg come down, activate the toes of the feet. Use the hands to draw that femur more deeply into the socket. Breathing. Inhale, left foot up to meet right. Reach the hands through the back of the left leg, right leg comes down. Use the hands to draw that head of the femur into the socket, nice and active in the toes. Breathing is easy and steady. Letting that go, exhale it down. Let's open our arms out to the side. Draw knees in towards the heart. And give yourself a little twist. You can be active in the toes in your twist. And inhale, knees to the other side. Inhale, center. Any other actions or shapes you'd like to take? If there's like a happy baby or anything at all. And then we're going to find our way towards Shavasana, our final rest, renew and integrate shape, pose, asana. Yeah, getting your socks on. Does anybody need a blanket? No? And once you find yourself in your Shavasana, lying on your back, perhaps with a bolster under the knees and an eye pillow, bag, billow over the eyes, letting yourself melt. The energy that you moved here in your practice begin to settle again in you. And letting
The body has incredible wisdom to heal, and that energy will just know right where to go to best serve you. Right here, right now. A little part of a poem, prose poem by someone named Jacqueline Ann. If the seat of power makes you tremble, stand a little taller. Wear your honor like golden armor. Carve your path with thunder. Your own two hands build your life. So make the most of what you offer.